Hi there, welcome to this lesson. In this lesson I will show you how to download Git locally on our device. You can download the install launcher for Git for any operating system you are using, because Git is a cross-platform system, so you can download it for macOS, Windows and Linux also. We are gonna download the latest version of Git. This is the official website for Git. You will find an official documentation. If you want to learn more about any Git concept, you can use this official documentation. It's a very useful resource for learning more about Git. Also, if you want to download any specified version of Git, you can do that easily by using this website, in addition to an official community for the Git users. To download the latest version of Git, you can use this button here for your operating system. In our case here, we are gonna download it for the Windows operating system. The latest version while recording this course is 2.381. You can use this version for your operating system also without any complication. Also, if you have Git already installed successfully on your device, you can update it by downloading the latest version, and in the next lesson I will show you how to install it. Now it's time to download the install launcher. Hit this button and you'll see this page here. All what you need to do now is clicking on this link. Click here to download. Hit this link and wait for the downloading process to be completed. After successfully downloading the install launcher for Git for your operating system, I will show you how to install it step by step. The Git installation is so easy, so don't worry about that. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next lesson. Hi there, welcome to this lesson. In this lesson I will show you how to install and verify Git for our operating system. After successfully downloading the install launcher for Git, just open it, double click on the install launcher button and you will see this pop-up window here. Then you can choose the best location for you to start installing Git. I'll leave this location as it is. You can choose the Git's default editor from here if you wish, and complete the whole process by default. It's very easy process to start installing Git, and wait for the installation process to be completed. After completing the Git installation, you will find this window here. We are gonna check launch Git bash. We need to open it to verify that Git is installed properly on our device. Then hit finish. Done. The Git bash tool is a built-in terminal. After successfully installing Git locally on your device, you will see it comes with this built-in terminal called Git bash to start working and managing files and folders locally on your device without any complication. The Git bash tool is a very important and useful tool that we will use throughout this course to manage all the projects we have here. Now we need to verify Git. In order to check if Git is installed properly on our device or not, just type this command git -- version and hit enter or return, and you will get the response on the next line. Once you open the Git bash window, you will see this $sign here. After this $sign, you can type in input and hit enter or return to get the response on the next line. The response or the output in our case here is Git version 2.381 for the Windows operating system. And after that, you will see the $sign comes again to take another input. Type the input, hit enter, and you will see the response and so on. That's all for this lesson. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next lesson. Hi there, welcome to this lesson. In this lesson I will show you how to use the Git bash tool to manage files and folders on our device. The Git bash tool is a built-in terminal. After installing Git successfully on your device, you will see it comes with the Git bash terminal or the Git bash tool. And this is a text-based application for viewing, handling and manipulating files on your computer. So let me show you how to use this tool practically. Once you open the Git bash tool, type who am I. This is our first command. Type it and hit enter or return, and you will get the response on the next line. You will get the username for this device. Next, type pwd to print the working directory or the current working directory. pwd stands for print working directory. If you wanna get a list of all the folders and files in the current working directory, you can use the ls command. Type it and hit enter or return, and you will get all these folders or files here in the current working directory. The current working directory, which is user, contains desktop. We need to move to desktop. To navigate to desktop, use the cd command. The cd command stands for change directory, and to change the current working directory to be desktop, type cd followed by desktop and hit enter or return, and you will see the current working directory is changed successfully. If you want to check the current working directory again, use pwd or print working directory again, and you will see the current working directory is desktop, not the user directory. The desktop directory is inside the user directory. Say we want to create a new directory or a new folder in the current working directory. You can do that easily by using the mkdir command followed by the name of this new directory. mkdir stands for make directory, and in this case we want to create the git project directory. This new directory is created by using the mkdir command. Type it and hit enter or return, and you will see the git project folder is created on desktop. Once you create the git project directory, we need to change the current working directory to be git project. So use the cd command followed by the name of this directory, which is inside the desktop directory. Type cd git project and hit enter or return, and you will see the current working directory is changed. The current working directory now is git project. If you are inside the git project directory or any directory you wish and you want to go back to the previous directory, use cd double dot and hit enter or return, and you will see the current working directory is changed again to be desktop. Let's navigate to the git project folder again by using the cd command. If you want to create a new file, you can use the touch command followed by the name of this file with its extension. Exactly as in this example here, we need to create the new file, and this file is a text file. So we use this extension .text at the end of the file name. Touch new file.text and hit enter or return, and you will see this text file is created successfully in the current working directory, which is git project. If you try to list all the files in the current working directory, you will see the new file is created. This text file is created successfully in the current working directory. Also, you can go to the git project folder and you will find this text file. You can use the echo command or function to create a file with content. You can create a text file with some text inside it by using this command. Type echo, this is some text in second file, and after the greater than symbol, type the file name with its extension, which is text. This is a text file, and hit enter or return, and you will see this file is created in the current working directory without any complication. Hi there, welcome to this lesson. In this lesson I'll show you how to configure Git to let Git know who you are. After successfully installing and verifying Git locally on your device, we will open the Git bash tool to start configuring Git by using the git config command. We are gonna configure the username in addition to the email address. So let's get started. First of all, we are gonna configure the username by using git config --global user.name and insert the username inside double quotes. Try to use the username for your GitHub account here inside double quotes. You can use the global keyword to set the username and the email address for every repository on this device. And if you wanna set the username and the email address for just the current repository only, you can simply remove --global from here and hit enter or return after this configuration. After this, you will see the $sign comes again to take another input. We're gonna configure the email address by using the same way, by using the git config command also. Type git config --global user.email and insert the email address for your GitHub account inside double quotes. And after all of this, hit enter or return. You can use the same command git config for configuring the core editor, the UI color, and many more. But in this course, we need to configure the username and the email address only. If you wanna verify that these configurations are inserted successfully, You can use the git config -- list command to list all the configurations for the Git system we have on this device. Type git config -- list and hit enter, and you will see the username is our name we set here. In addition to the email address, user.email is equal to the email address for our GitHub account, which we have inserted here. That's all about it. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next lesson. Hi there, welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, I will show you how to create the Git folder to initialize our Git repository and contain all the files we have in this course. First of all, open the Git Bash tool. Open the Git Bash tool here. Let's maximize this screen, and after this $sign you can type the input and hit enter or return to get the response. Our current working directory is the desktop directory here. We need to create our folder here, so use the mkdir command. We are gonna type mkdir followed by the name of this folder, which is Git project. You can give this folder any name you wish. After this, hit enter or return, and you will see this folder is created on desktop. We need to navigate to this new folder called Git project. To navigate to this Git project folder, use the cd command and hit enter, and you will see now our current working directory is the Git project folder on desktop. It's so easy and so simple. Now it's time to initialize our Git repository. We are gonna initialize Git here in this folder called Git project. You can use the git init command to do that. The git init command is used to initialize the Git repository. After typing it, hit enter, and you will see the Git repository is initialized successfully in this directory here. You can go to this folder to see this. Once you initialize the Git repository, Git creates this hidden folder for you to keep track of changes for this repository. Thanks for watching. See you again next lesson. We just created our first repository here, but this repository is still empty. We need to add some files here. We are gonna create a new file inside the Git project folder. Here in the master branch for the Git project folder, we are gonna create Python file. You can open the editor and create in the same folder any type of files you wish. We are gonna use the Visual Studio Code editor to create a new file here in the Git project folder for our repository. And this Python file is called main. You can add some code here inside the main folder. Any Python file ends with this extension py. You can create any type of files here in the same folder. After successfully creating this main Python file and adding some code inside it, let's go back to the terminal or the built-in terminal called Git Bash to list all the files in the current working directory again. You will see this file is created successfully. You can use the ls command to list all the files here inside the Git project folder, and you will see the main Python file is created successfully. Thanks for watching. To understand Git, you should know about two types of files. The first one is called tracked files. Tracked files are files that Git knows about and are added to this repository. The second type of files is called untracked files. Untracked files are the files that in your current working directory but not added to this repository here. Once you add a file in the current working directory, this file will be untracked file, and if you want to track this file, you need to stage it or you need to add it to the staging environment. And don't worry about that, I will show you this in this course. However, if you have created any file like this main file here in the current working directory and you want to get the status of this file to show if this file is tracked file or untracked file, you can use the git status command. The git status command is used to check the git status to see the tracked files and untracked files, and you can see the main Python file here is untracked file. We need to add this file to the staging environment to make this file tracked file by Git. And you can see here, you can use the git add command followed by the name of this file to track it. And all this inside the master branch exactly as you can see here. That's all about it. Thanks for watching. See you again next lesson. Hello and welcome to this lesson. We have the main Python file here, and you know this file is untracked file. We need to stage it. We need to add it to the staging environment. And what is the meaning of staged files? Staged files are files that are ready to be committed to this repository you are working on. So to track this main file, you need to use the git add command to add it to the staging environment. And if you try to add, edit and remove anything from this file will be untracked file again. You need to track it again. You need to stage it again. And don't worry about that. I'll show you this step by step. So let's add this main Python file to the staging environment to be ready to be committed. All what you need to do is typing git add followed by the name of this file here in the current working directory, which is git project, for our repository in the master branch, the name of the file with its extension here, and hit enter, and you will see this file is tracked. This file now is added to the staging environment. Try to use the git status again, and you'll see this file called main Python file is tracked with this green color here. You need to commit it by using the git commit command, and I'll show you this in the next lesson. Hi there, welcome to this lesson. We have a single file in the staging environment, and this file is ready to be committed to this repository we are working on. And you can use the git status command to check this, and you will see we have the main Python file, and this file is in the staging environment. Let's go to our text editor and modify this file to see the difference in the git status. We are adding another statement or another line of code here inside the main Python file. The print function to print out hi Python after the first statement here. Save the file and go back to check the git status for our current repository. And you can see we have this main Python file, and this main Python file is ready to be committed. But now we have this file, and this file is modified. And if you want to go back to the previous state and delete the latest updates, you can do that easily by using the git restore command. Here in the master branch, also in the git project folder, type git restore followed by the name of this file, which is main.py. This is the main Python file here in this project. Hit enter, and now check the git status again. You will see we have this file, and this file is ready to be committed. And if you try to open the text editor again, you will see the print hi Python statement is removed. The latest update is removed and deleted successfully from here. So you can use the git restore command to do that. It's so simple and so useful. Thanks for watching. See you again next lesson. Hi there, welcome to this lesson. Previously we added a single Python file to the staging environment, and this Python file is called the main Python file. You can create another file and stage it if you wish by using the git add command. However, in this lesson I will show you how to add multiple files at once to the staging environment. We are gonna create another Python file in the same working folder, then we will stage it. Let me show you that. Use your favorite text editor and create another Python file in the git project folder. As we said before, we are gonna create this file index, and this is another Python file here. And this file will be untracked file because this file is not in the staging environment. This file is not ready to be committed. Inside the index Python file, we have a single statement, single line of code in the Python language, which is a print function to print out this message on the screen, which is hello from the index file string. You can place any number of statements here inside this file. After this, save this file, then go back to the git bash tool to complete our work. Once you check the git status again, you will see we have two types of files here. The main Python file, and this file is staged file, and the second type of files, which is the index Python file, and this is untracked file. You can use the git add command followed by the name of this file to add this file to the staging environment. This is the first way of adding any file to the staging environment. Also, there is another way for adding files to the staging environment, to adding many files or all the files in the current directory to the staging environment. And this is done easily by using the git add --all command. You can use --all to add all the files in the current working directory called git project to the staging environment, exactly as you can see in this example here. You can try to check the git status again to see the difference in the output after using the git add --all command. You will see now all the files in the current working directory are ready to be committed. All these files are now in the staging environment successfully. To add multiple files to the staging environment, you can use the git add --all command, or you can use the shorthand command for this command, which is git add -A, and you will get the same result. You will see all the files will be added successfully to the staging environment. However, I prefer to use the previous way, which is the git add command followed by the file names. I recommend this to avoid adding any unnecessary files to the staging environment, and you can use any way you want. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next lesson. To complete tracking files by Git, you need to commit them. We have two Python files in the previous lesson. The main Python file in addition to the index Python file, and all these files are inside the staging environment. And to complete tracking them by Git, we need to commit them by using the git commit command. What is the meaning of git commit? We need to commit staged files so that you can go back to this point again by using serial number if there is an error or bug in your code. Adding commits keep track of our progress and changes as we work, and we consider each commit change point or save point, and each commit has its own serial number or hash, so that you can go back to this point by using this hash or this serial number if there is an error in the code or if you want to change something. Also, each commit should contain a message to describe or put hints about this changing or to understand this modification. Let's get started to clarify all these concepts practically. You can see here in the current working directory, we have two Python files, and all these files are inside the staging environment. All these files are ready to be committed. We need to commit them by using the git commit command. So all what you need to do is typing git commit -m to add a message for this commit, and inside double quote put the message. Try to type descriptive and meaningful message. For example, here as a test, first version of main and index. You can type any message you wish here, and after successfully completing this and typing git commit -m followed by the message inside double quotes, hit enter or return, and these files are committed successfully. And if you try to change anything in these files again, you need to stage them and commit them again, and each commit has its own hash or serial number. And don't worry about that, I'll show you many examples in this course. To verify or check the git status again, try to use the git status command on the master branch, and you will see nothing to commit. All changes in the current working directory are committed successfully. Let's go ahead in the current working directory to modify or to add another code inside the index Python file to see the difference in the git status. We are adding in the index Python file the print function to print welcome to Git. You can add any code here in the Python file, or you can modify the main Python file if you wish. Save the file after this modification, and let's go back to the built-in terminal called git bash to see the git status. Once you type git status and hit enter for the current working directory, on the master branch, you will see we have something new here. The index Python file is modified with the red color, and these changes not staged for commit. You need to stage and commit these new changes. One useful way of checking the git status is by using the git status command followed by -- short. The -- short option is used to see the changes in a short way. Once you use this command git status short and hit enter, you will see in the response flag followed by the file name. The index Python file is modified so that you can see here M in uppercase and this is in red color. For short status flags, you can see untracked files by using question marks. You can see files added to stage by using capital A, modified files using capital M, as in this example here. M stands for modified files, or you can see capital D stands for deleted files. If you try to commit these changes without staging them, you will get the status of this repository in the output also. You need to stage all these changes before committing them. However, if you are in a hurry and you want to stage and commit files at once by using a single command, you can use the -a option with the git commit command. Exactly as in this example here, git commit -a-m followed by a message inside double quotes. This message is modify index and print another message. You can type any descriptive message here to describe this commit. The -a option here to stage and commit this file directly at once. And once you hit enter or return, you will see in the response in this master branch a short version of the hash number for this commit, followed by the message which is modify index and print another message for this commit, and all the changes. One file changed, two insertions, and so on. And try to check the git status again after this commit, and you can see all the files and the changes in the current working directory are committed successfully, and nothing to commit in the git project folder here. However, this way of committing changes directly is not recommended, and skipping the staging environment is not recommended, because skipping the staging environment step can sometimes make you include unwanted changes. So try to avoid this. We recommend adding changes and files to the staging environment first, then committing them by using the git commit command. That's all about it. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next lesson. Hello and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, I'll show you how to get help. There are two options to get help, and no need to remember all the git commands. If you want to get more information or more details about any git command, you can do that easily by using two ways. You can use the first option if you want to get help, or if you want to get more information about specific command. And the second option is more general, to see all possible commands by using git help --all to get all the commands for the git system, all the commands available that you can use. Let's see this in action. The first example is to get all the details needed about the git commit command. You can see git followed by the command which is commit. In this example here, you can try status or any available command followed by -help and hit enter, and you will see all the information and details needed about this command, exactly as you can see here. To clarify this, let's try another one. For example, the add command. Git add -help and hit enter, and you can see all the possible information or all the possible details available here for the git add command. Now it's time to try the second way, and you know the second way is more general, to get all possible commands for the git system, all possible commands that you can use to get more information about all the commands at once. So to perform this, type git help --all and hit enter or return, and this will display a very long list of commands, all possible commands here, and information about each command. For instance, you will find add, branch, checkout, clean, clone, commit, describe, def, fetch, and so on. You can take a look at all these commands here to get more information about each command. If you want to exit from this list view, you can use Q from the keyboard. That's all about it. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next lesson. Hello and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson we will talk about branching in Git. Creating a new separate copy of your project is very important if you want to test something or if you want to change something in the project without impacting the live version, without affecting the main branch. You can create a new branch to test something new. You can create a new branch for emergency changes. And after all of this, after completing all the changes with the new branch, you can remove it or you can merge it with the main branch. A new branch is a new separate copy of the project, a new version of the project. Let me show you that practically. Let's clarify everything. The current working directory is the Git project, and we want to create a new branch here in the current working directory without affecting or without impacting the main version, without impacting the master branch. To do that, use the branch command. Use the git branch command followed by the name of this branch, exactly as in this example here. Git branch followed by high text. And once you hit enter, you will see this new branch is created, but we are still inside the master branch. And if you want to check all possible branches for our repository here, you can use the branch command, git branch only, and hit enter or return, and you will see high text in addition to the master branch. And our main branch here is the master branch, so you can see asterisk before it and this branch in the green color. This git branch command is useful if you want to verify that this branch called high text is created successfully. So after all of this, after successfully creating a new branch, if you want to navigate to this new branch, you can do that easily without any complication. To navigate to any branch you wish here available in the current working directory for our repository, use the git checkout command followed by the available branch, which is high text in this example here. To switch to this branch, type git checkout followed by the name of this available branch and hit enter or return, and you will see in the response this message, switch it to branch high text inside single quotes. And if you want to make sure that we are inside the high text branch now, you can use the git branch command again, and you will see asterisk before high text and the high text branch in the green color. Also at the end of the directory here, you will see we are inside the high text branch, so you can work with this new copy of our project without impacting, without affecting the main branch, which is the master branch. That's all about it for this lesson. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next lesson. Hello and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson I will show you how to work with the new branch we created, which is called high text. You can modify files, creating a number of files simply inside the new branch without impacting the main branch, which is the master branch. Let me show you that in action. After specifying that we are currently inside the high text branch, go to your favorite text editor and create a new text file. In our case here, we create a text file. You can create any type of files as you wish. And this text file is called welcome text, and don't forget its extension .text. Inside this file, place a content we insert this content will come from the new text file. You can place any text here inside this file and save it by using Ctrl S. Once you save this file, go back to the Git Bash tool and check the Git status, and you will see we have untracked files here, which is the text file. It's a single file in the red color here after checking the Git status by using Git status command, and this on the branch called high text. We need to use the git add command to add it to the staging environment, and after this we need to commit it by using the git commit command. Let's do that. As we said previously, you can use the git add -all command or git add -A to add all the changes in the current working directory to the staging environment. However, we prefer to use git add followed by the file name. Just use git add followed by the file name, which is welcome text.txt, and hit enter or return, and you will see this file is added successfully to the staging environment, and this file will be ready to be committed. Use the git commit command followed by -m to add a message for this commit, and this message inside double quotes, which is adding new text in the new branch. And once you hit enter or return, you will see committed successfully, and you can see in the response we are inside the high text branch followed by the hash number or the serial number for this commit. This is a short version of the serial number or the hash number for this commit, followed by the message which is adding new text in the new branch, and then in the next line short explanation, one file changed, one insertion, and so on. And to verify the git status here in our high text branch, use the git status command, and you will see we are on branch high text and nothing to commit here. All these changes are only inside the high text branch, not in the master branch. If you try to go back to the master branch, you will never see this text file welcome text. Here in the high text branch, if you want to get a list for all the files in the current working directory, git project, for this branch, use the list command and you will see the welcome text file here. We have 3 files here in the git project folder, but for this branch only. If you try to navigate to the master branch by using the git checkout command, you will see we have 2 files only. The 2 previous files, which are the index Python file in addition to the main Python file, but the welcome text file is not inside this master branch. It's only created in the high text branch without impacting the master branch. Once you use the git branch command, you will see now we are inside the master branch with the green color and the asterisk symbol here. Then if you try to list all the files here in the current folder git project for our repository, in the master branch you will see we have the 2 Python files only, but the welcome text file is inside the high text branch, is inside the another copy of this repository. So that branching in Git is very important and useful for testing and playing with the code without impacting the main project. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next lesson. Hi there, welcome to this lesson. After successfully completing everything in the high text branch or any branch you have created, you can merge this branch with the master branch easily by using the git merge command to update the master branch with the new content we created previously. Let me show you that in action. First of all, we need to make our current branch the master branch. So use the git checkout command to navigate to the master branch, and after hitting enter you will see switch it to branch master. Our current branch is master now. Then to merge the other branch with the master branch, use the git merge command followed by the name of the other branch, which is high text in our case here, to merge the high text branch with the master branch, and hit enter or return, and you will see the response exactly as you can see here. The new text file we created previously in the high text branch is added successfully to the master branch. One file changed, one insertion, and so on. After completing the merging process, if you wanna list all the files and folders here in the current working directory Git project for the master branch, you will see we have the welcome text, this text file from the other branch called high text. This file now is available inside the master branch. This is due to the merging process. We have 3 files here in the master branch. This is very useful. Also, you can add any number of files. You can modify files or make any changes you wish in another branch in the current repository, and you can merge this branch with the master branch after completing the modification process successfully. Also, it's possible to switch back to the high text branch we created by using the git checkout command. Then you can add another text file or any file you wish, then staging and committing all the changes in the new branch. And once you try to merge this high text branch with the master branch, you may see merge conflict. So in this case, we need to open our favorite editor to fix this conflict manually. In this case, we need to take a look at the differences between the versions and edit it like we want manually. And after completing the editing process, staging all the changes and files and committing them. And if you try to check the git status again after this process, you will see everything is done successfully and solved. If you don't need any branch and you want to delete it, type git branch -d followed by the branch name and hit enter or return, and you will see this branch is deleted successfully. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next lesson. Hello and welcome to this lesson. This is our first step to start using GitHub to host our work, to make our work or our local repository public or private if you wish. This is very useful to make your code accessible. And also, GitHub is the most popular platform for hosting projects and repositories. You can collaborate with other developers here on the GitHub platform. So to easily complete this course, just create your GitHub account by using the same email address in the Git configuration, by using the same email address you used in Git config. If you have already GitHub account with the same email address, you can use it to complete this course without any complication. And if you don't have one, use your email address and sign up. And the sign up process here is so easy. Just click on sign up button and fill in the needed information. And after this, GitHub will send confirmation to your email address. And this operation is so easy. And after creating your GitHub account, you can complete this course without any complication. Hi there, welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, I'll show you how to create a repository on GitHub. After successfully creating our GitHub account, you will see a screen like this. We are gonna create a repository here on GitHub to host our local repository, which we created previously on our device, which contains our project files. All this and more. Let me show you all this in action to clarify each concept. On the top right corner here, you can use this plus sign to create a new repository, import a repository, and many more. Use this plus button to create a new repository, then hit a new repository. Then you will see the screen to create a new repository here. A repository contains all project files. You will see the owner of this repository is your GitHub account, and after this, set repository name. In our case here, we use hello everyone. You can replace this name with any name, any valid name you wish. And you can see hello everyone is available, so you can use it. Once you add the repository name, try to add a description here, and this is optional. In our case, we type hello everyone repo or repository for this Git course. You can use this description or another description if you wish to describe this repository. Then you can see we have two accessing options, public and private. You can use the public option if you want this repository to be viewable for anyone. Anyone can see this repository on internet. Or you can choose private if you want to choose who should be able to view this repository. For this repository here, we choose public. Also, you can create a README file with the markdown language for this repository here to put instructions or documentation that you want to share with others, to put long description about this repository if you wish. And don't worry about this, I'll show you this in action. However, let's skip this README file for now. To complete creating this repository on GitHub, all what you need to do now is hitting this create repository button, this green button here. And you will see this repository is created successfully on your GitHub account. Done. The hello everyone repository is created successfully here. Now we need to use this link here in the Git Bash tool to push our local repository here to be hosted using this repository called hello everyone. Open the Git Bash tool in the current working directory, which is Git project, and make sure our main branch is the master branch, and use this command here, git remote add origin, followed by the URL or link for the hello everyone repository on GitHub. We use this to specify that we are adding a remote repository, and this specified URL as an origin to our local Git repository. After linking the local repository with the public repository on GitHub and making the hello everyone repository as an origin to our local repository, we need to push all the local files we created to be hosted on GitHub instead of locally on our device. You can push all files to GitHub by using the git push command followed by --set -upstream origin master to push the master branch for the Git project folder to its origin on GitHub, which is the hello everyone repository. Done. Now you can go back into GitHub and see that the repository has been updated successfully here, and the hello everyone repository contains our files. All the local files we created previously are hosted successfully on GitHub. And you can see the default branch here is the master branch. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next lesson. Hello and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, I will show you how to add a README file by using the markdown language on GitHub for our repository. Also, I will show you how to edit code in GitHub. After pushing all the local files to be hosted in the hello everyone repository here, use this green button to add a README file. And you can see the README file ends with this extension MD. MD stands for the markdown language. This is markdown file. And don't worry about that. In the next section, I will show you how to use the markdown language here in detail. I will show you every single thing you need to know about this language. Here in the GitHub editor, you can type the markdown language. First of all, you can see the hash sign before hello everyone. This is used to add level 1 header here. And after this, normal paragraph. Place some text here. Then if you wanna preview this, you can use the preview tab. After completing the README file, let's create a message for this commit. Type a message here, for example, create README file. Also, you can add a description if you wish here. You can commit this directly to the master branch, or you can create a new branch for this commit. In this example, make sure to choose commit directly to the master branch and use the green button after this to commit this new file. Once you create the README file with the markdown language, go back to the hello everyone repository and you will see this README file is created successfully. This repository has been updated, and you can see this is a preview of the README file here. You can add full description or full instructions about your repository by using the README file, and this process is so easy. And in the next section, I'm gonna show you every single thing you need to know about the Markdown language. Also, it's possible to edit this README file again after creating it, adding a new commit message, a new description, and commit directly to the master branch again and hit commit changes. And after completing all of this, you will see all the changes are added successfully to the Hello Everyone repository. Hello and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, I will show you how to pull changes from the GitHub repository to the local repository to keep up to date with changes. There are two ways to do that. The first one is by using combination of two different commands, git fetch plus git merge, and the second way is by using the git pull command. In this lesson, I will show you how to use the git fetch plus the git merge commands to keep up to date with the changes on GitHub. And in the next lesson, I will show you how to use the git pull command instead of using git fetch plus git merge. So let's clarify this in action. In the previous lesson, we made some changes, which is adding and updating README file in the Hello Everyone repository on GitHub, which is considered in our case here an origin for our local repository. We will be using the git fetch command followed by origin to get all the change history and updates for origin on GitHub. And after this, check git status, and you can see in the response your branch is behind the origin master by 2 commits. And you know these 2 commits are adding and updating the README file. List all the files in the current working directory now before the merging process, and you can see we have 3 files here only, and the README file is not here. The README file is created in the GitHub repository. Also, before the merging process, you can use the git log command for the origin master to see all available commits, and you can notice that the latest 2 commits are create readme and update readme. Now it's time to pull these changes and combine them to the local repository to keep up to date with these changes. So to achieve this, use the git merge command followed by origin master and hit enter, and you will see details in the response next. Then if you try to check git status again, you can see your local branch now is up to date with origin master on GitHub. To verify that the readme file is placed successfully in the current working directory, you can use the list command to list all the files in the current working directory here locally in the master branch, and you will see in the response the readme file is here inside the current working directory for our local repository. And this is the first way to keep up to date with changes on GitHub. In the next lesson, I'll show you how to use the git pull command instead of using git fetch plus git merge. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next lesson. Hi there, welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, I'll show you how to use the git pull command instead of using the combination of git fetch and git merge. You can use the git pull command to pull all changes from a remote repository into the branch you are working on. So to clarify this, let's update the Hello Everyone repository on GitHub to pull all these changes into our local repository on our device by using the git pull command. For instance, we are gonna update the readme file on the Hello Everyone repository. Place additional text, and after this, we need to commit these changes with a new message, which is a thank you to readme.md, and you can add a description and commit directly to the master branch. Then you need to hit commit changes by using the green button. Okay, now we need to go to the git bash tool and type git pull origin to pull all changes from origin to this local repository here in the master branch. And once you hit enter or return, you will see the current repository on our device is updated successfully. And you can see this is by using only one step, which is the git pull command instead of using git fetch plus git merge. This is to save your precious time. You can check the status of this repository after this on the master branch, and you can see your branch is up to date with the origin master. Nothing to commit here. This is very useful way to keep your local repository up to date with the GitHub repository. To make sure that the README file is updated successfully here in the local repository, just use your favorite editor and you will see the new text is added successfully to the README file locally here from the origin master. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next lesson. Hi there. Welcome to this lesson. You can make changes in local repository on your device, and you can push all these changes to the GitHub repository easily by using the git push command. So let me show you how to update our remote origin on GitHub and push changes from the local repository to the GitHub repository. First of all, we need to make some changes here. So we create a Python file, a new Python file, which is a new greeting file here, and place some Python code inside it. For instance, the print function to print hello Python, in addition to another one, the print function to print Python is fun. Create this file and save it after completing this code. Once you check the status of this git repository again by using the git status command, you will see we have untracked file here, which is the new Python file new greeting. We need to track this file, and to do that, you need to stage and commit it. To add the new greeting Python file to the staging environment, we use the git add command followed by the name of this file in the current repository here locally. Once you hit enter, this new greeting Python file will be staged successfully. Check the status of this git repository here. Again, you will see the red color is changed to the green color for this new file called new greeting, and this file now is ready to be committed. So we need to commit it by using the git commit command. Let's commit the new greeting Python file using the git commit command and -m to add a message inside double quotes, and this message in our case here is add a new greeting file to local project. You can add another message inside double quotes here for this commit and hit enter after completing all this statement. Check the status of this git repository and you can see in the response your branch here is ahead of the origin master by one commit. We made some changes here and we need to push these changes by using the git push command to origin master on GitHub. To push the new changes from the local git repository to our remote origin on GitHub, use git push origin and hit enter. Done. This process is successfully completed. You can take a look at GitHub and you will see the hello everyone repository is updated successfully and the new greeting Python file is added successfully to the remote repository on GitHub. And you can open this Python file on GitHub and you can edit it if you wish. GitHub has a powerful editor to edit any code. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next lesson. Hi there. In this lesson, I'll show you how to create a new branch for our repository, hello everyone, on GitHub. You can do that easily. Our main branch on GitHub is the master branch. You can click on the master branch button to create a new branch, a new separate copy of this repository here, to test or add anything in the new separate copy without impacting the master branch. You will find this box here. You can type the new branch name inside this box. For instance, let's create a new branch. The branch name is a new greeting test, and you can give this branch another name if you wish. After this, Hit create branch, new greeting test, and this branch will be created successfully here. Done. Now we have a new separate copy of our repository, and instead of using the master branch to edit or test anything you wish, you can work with this separate copy here without affecting or impacting the main version. And this branch has all the files that are inside the master branch. To clarify this concept, let's add some changes here inside the new greeting test branch. Let's change, for example, the new greeting Python file. We're gonna add some code inside it, another line of code. And this line of code will be added only inside this branch, not inside the master branch. You can add any code as you wish, or you can edit any file inside this branch. We add the print function to print thanks for editing this file here. Once you edit the new greeting Python file, you need to commit these changes as a saving point or as a changing point. The message is add thanks to new greeting.py, and you can add a description if you wish. And make sure to select commit directly to the new greeting test branch. These changes will be saved only for this branch called new greeting test, not for the master branch. So that you know, creating new branch is a very useful way to test any code without impacting the main version or the main branch of this repository. Finally, to complete the process, use the commit changes button, this green button here. Click on it and you will see the new greeting Python file is edited successfully and the new line of code is added successfully here. GitHub has a powerful editor so that you can type and edit any code here on GitHub easily. That's all about it. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next lesson. Hi there, welcome to this lesson. Previously we created a new branch on GitHub, and the branch name is new greeting test, and you know that. And in this lesson I'll show you how to pull these changes, this new branch from GitHub, into our local repository to keep our local project up to date. So let's see this in action. You need to open the Git bash tool and type git branch to check all available branches in Git project locally. And you can see we have two branches, high text and the master branch. And the main branch is the master branch with asterisk and the green color, exactly as you can see. Let's remove the high text branch. You can remove it by using git branch with the -d option followed by this branch name high text and hit enter, and this branch is deleted successfully. And you can see this in the response, deleted branch high text. Check available branches again and you can see we have a single branch here locally in Git project, which is the master branch. We need to pull changes from origin on GitHub to this local repository here. And to do that you can use the git pull command to stay up to date with origin. So that type git pull and hit enter or return, and we can see that there is a new branch available on GitHub, which is the new greeting test branch. You can do a quick status check by using the git status command and hit enter, and you can see your branch is up to date. And if you try to use the git branch again, you can see we still have a single branch, which is our main branch, the master branch. We don't have the new branch on our local Git, but we know it's available on GitHub. And if you want to see all local and remote branches, you need to use the -a option with the git branch command. And once you use it, you will see this response here. Our main branch is the master branch, and you can see also the remote branches for the origin of this repository on GitHub, which are master and the new greeting test. And now you can navigate to any of these remote branches. You can use the git checkout command, for example, to navigate to new greeting test, the branch we created previously on GitHub. And you can take a look at the response, switch it to a new branch, new greeting test. And you can see after the current working directory, Our main branch now is the new greeting test branch. Now you can use the git branch command to see our main branch easily, and you will see in this case it's available. Our main branch with the green color is the new greeting test branch with the asterisk sign before it. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next lesson. Hi there, welcome to this lesson. You can create new branches locally on your device, and you can push all these new branches to GitHub. So in this lesson I am gonna show you how to create a new branch locally, and after this I'm gonna show you how to push this new branch to origin, to the remote repository on GitHub. Open the Git bash tool and type this line: git checkout -b updating readme. You know, the git checkout command is used to create a new branch, and the -b option here is used to switch or to navigate to this branch once you create it directly. So you can create a new branch and you can navigate directly to it by using the same command, by using only single line: git checkout -b, followed by the name of this branch, which is updating readme. And once you hit enter or return, you will see in the response switch it to a new branch updating readme. You can create any branch and switching to it by using the same way. Try to check the status of Git here, and you can see now we are inside a separate copy of our repository. We are on branch updating readme and nothing to commit here. Let's go ahead and make some changes only for this branch, for this separate copy. For example, adding text or paragraph inside the readme file, then save this file after completing this. Check the status of this Git repository again, and you can see we have modified file, which is the readme file in the red color here. You need to track this file, you need to stage and commit it. Add the readme file to the staging environment by using the git add command and hit enter or return. Then this file will be ready to be committed. Check the status of this Git repository, and you can see we have a modified file, which is the readme file in the green color, and this file is ready to be committed. The next step is committing this file or committing these changes as a saving point or as a changing point with a special serial number or hash. Let's commit changes by using the git commit command followed by -m to add a message for this commit. And this message inside double quotes updating readme.md for GitHub branches. You can add another message if you wish and hit enter or return, and you can see in the response one file changed to insertions. All these changes are only inside the new branch called updating readme without impacting the main branch, without changing the master branch or impacting it. Now we need to push all these changes to origin. We need to push the new branch called updating readme with these changes to the remote repository on GitHub. So you can do that easily by using the git push command. You can type git push origin followed by the name of this new branch, which is updating readme, and hit enter or return. And you can go back to the GitHub repository called hello everyone, and you will see this updating readme branch is added successfully. Take a look at the hello everyone repository on GitHub, and you can see we have this new branch updating readme with this new text we have added inside the readme file. So you can create another branch locally on your device and you can push it to origin, to remote repository on GitHub by using the same way. And this is without changing the master branch, without changing the main branch or the main version of our project. Finally, if you want to create pull request to compare changes across two branches, you can do that easily. You can send a pull request to the original repository, and you can add comment or explanation for the administrators. Then create pull request by using the green button. And after successfully approving pull requests, any number with access can see this pull request when they see the original repository on GitHub. Hi there, welcome to this lesson. Each commit has its own serial number or hash, and if you want to go back to any previous commit, you can do that easily by using the reset command. Reset is very useful if you want to move the repository back to a previous commit and discarding any changes made after that commit. So let me show you this in action. First of all, we need to show the history of our commits for our current repository. You can do that easily by using the log command. Just use the git log command followed by --1 line option and hit enter to avoid the very long log list, and you can see all available commits here. Each commit has its own serial number or hash with the yellow color on the left side, and you can see the first one is the latest saving point or the latest commit with its own and unique serial number or hash, and the head is the master branch in our case here. If you want to revert back to any of these commits, you can use the git reset command followed by the hash number or the serial number for this commit and make it head. You can check the commit history again by using the git log command, and you can see the head is changed. We used the git reset command to go back to this specified commit and discarding any changes made after this commit. Now let's go back to our previous point, our previous head, which is this one. Use the git reset command again with this hash and hit enter, and you can check the history of commits again and you will see head is changed again. Hi everyone, welcome to this lesson. If you don't want to share everything in the local repository and you want to hide some parts of your project, you can do that easily by using Git. Actually, when sharing our projects with others, there are some parts we don't want to share, and you can do that easily by using the git ignore file in the Git system. You can create the git ignore file to perform this operation. In our working folder here, you can list all the files, and you can see we have 4 files: readme, index, main, and welcome text. We need to create git ignore file here in the current working directory. However, this file will be hidden. So after creating it, if you try to list all the files in the working directory again, you will not see this file here because this file will be hidden. Use the touch command to create the git ignore file. .git ignore and hit enter, and this file is created successfully. As we said previously, if you try to list all the files in the current working directory again, you will not see the git ignore file because this is a hidden file to hide some parts of our code. Git will use this file to specify which files or parts of our project should be ignored. Go ahead and use your favorite text editor, and once you open the Git project folder, you will see the git ignore file is created successfully. You can use this file to ignore log files, temporary files, hidden files, personal files, or any files you want. Inside the git ignore file, you can use the hash sign to add a comment, to put explanation, or insert hints. Our first example here to ignore any files with the .text extension, so that we use *.text. The second example is used to ignore any files with the .log extension. The last example we have here is used to ignore everything in any directory named temp. Okay, save this file, and now all the .text files, .log files, and anything in the temp folders will be ignored by the Git system. So the git ignore file is very useful if you want to hide specified files or folders. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next lesson. One of the most powerful features of using GitHub is collaboration. You can collaborate with other developers and engineers on GitHub easily. You have to know that Git doesn't allow you to add code or project to someone else's repository without access rights. And in this lesson, I am gonna show you 2 ways to collaborate with other developers on GitHub easily. These 2 ways are fork and clone. So let me show you this in action. You can use the GitHub search and search about any repository or any project you wish. For example, JavaScript projects or any type of projects you wish. For example, let's select this repository called game. You can open this repository and you can see all the available files and folders for this project here. What is the meaning of fork a repository? Fork is a copy of a repository, and this is powerful and useful feature when you want to contribute with someone else's project, like this example here, or start your own project based on theirs. Also, you should know that fork is not a command in Git, but something offered in GitHub. However, this is a useful feature to collaborate with other developers. So once you open repository on GitHub, you can use the fork button to create a copy of this repository, and you can customize the repository name and also create this fork by using this green button. The second way to contribute and collaborate with other developers is by using clone. You can use the git clone command if you want to get a full copy of a repository, including all logging and versions of files. So you can click on the code button and copy this URL of this repository here to clone on our local Git. Open the Git bash tool and print the working directory. You will see we are inside the user directory. Change directory to be desktop to clone our project on desktop. To copy all the remote repository files, use the git clone command followed by the URL for this repository. Then you can hit enter or return. Done. If you try to list all the files and folders on desktop now, you can see we have the game folder. Now we have a full copy of the game repository. You can open the game project with your favorite text editor to see all the folders and files for this project. You can see all the project code. You can make some changes, stage and commit all these changes, and this is very useful. Let's go back to the git bash tool and change the current working directory to be game. If you want to get the history of commits for this game project, you can use the git log command and you can see the head of this repository and all possible commits. Also, if you want to display short history, you can use the one line option with the git log command and hit enter, and you can see each commit with its message. That's all about it for this lesson. Thank you so much for watching. Hi there, welcome to this lesson. In this section we will explore the markdown language to insert instructions or add a description for our repository. Let's prepare the GitHub settings to use the markdown language without any problems. You need to click on settings. Then we need to go to appearance and you can choose any theme you wish from here. However, we are here to select this option. Check this option. Use a fixed width monospace font when editing markdown. Let's start with headings. How to add a header by using the markdown language. Add number signs or hash signs in front of a word or phrase. And you should know that the number of number signs you use should correspond to the heading level. So let's see this in action. Go ahead and edit the readme file with the markdown language. This is markdown file. And you can see inside this file we have a header. Heading of level 1 with a single hash or a single number sign. This is the biggest level of headers. If you want to create a heading level 2, use 2 number signs. exactly as you can see, two number signs or two hash signs, then the header content, which is the second largest heading phrase. Similarly, you can create a heading level 3 by using 3 number signs or 3 hash signs, and the content of this header or the phrase of this header, exactly as you can see, is the smallest heading. Actually, this is the smallest header here in these 3 headers. However, you can add a heading level 4, heading level 5, and so on. And if you want to show the output or preview these changes without committing them, you can simply use the preview tab here, and you can see the biggest header is the hello everyone header, the heading level 2 is the second largest heading, and the third one, which is the smallest heading. You can try this by yourself if you wish. Thank you so much for watching. You can create a single paragraph, 2 paragraphs, or any number of paragraphs you wish by using the markdown language. Just place normal text and separate between these paragraphs by using a blank line to separate one or more lines of text. Exactly as in this example here, inside the readme file we have 2 paragraphs and we separate between them using blank line. Let's add some style to bold text. You can add 2 asterisks or underscores before and after a word or phrase, exactly as in our example here. And you can see this bold phrase in the preview tab. This is how it looks in the output. Also, if you want to make word or phrase italic to italicize text, you can add 1 asterisk or underscore before and after a word or phrase easily, exactly as you can see here. Also, you can strike through text by using 2 tildes, start and end of content. You can use 3 asterisk signs to emphasize text with bold and italics at the same time. Also, you can use the subscript element to specify inline text, which should be displayed in the output as a subscript. And this element has opening tag and the closing tag, and place all the subscript text in between these 2 tags. To create superscript, you can use the superscript tag, the opening tag and the closing tag also, and this defines superscript text. Superscript text appears half a character above the normal line and is sometimes rendered in a small font. Place all the paragraph or all the needed text inside these 2 tags here for the superscript element. And you can open the preview tab to see the output to show how it looks. However, to clarify these styles and for best practicing, we need to add blank lines in between them. Then open the preview tab again and you can see the difference in the output. Always try to add blank lines to avoid getting errors in the preview tab or in the output. Thank you so much for watching. How to create a block code. This is so easy by using the markdown language. You can add a greater than sign in front of a paragraph or a text. Exactly as in this example here. Before this paragraph, we have added this greater than symbol, and after the greater than sign, some space. Then you can go to the preview tab to see the output. Voila! This block code is created successfully. You can do this with another paragraph by yourself. This is so easy. Thanks for watching. You can create block code with multiple paragraphs or nested block quotes easily by using the markdown language. However, in this case, add a greater than symbol on the black lines between the paragraphs, as in this example here. However, in our example here, we have nested block quote by using 2 greater than signs. And if you want to create block quotes with multiple paragraphs, you can use a single greater than sign for the second paragraph. You can go to the preview tab to see the output for our example. As shown here, we have nested block quote. You can add many nested block quotes here by using the same process. Try to practice this by yourself to master it. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next lesson. Lists are very important to organize items, and with the Markdown language, you can create any type of lists easily. Let me show you this in action. You can create an ordered list, add line items with numbers followed by periods, and the numbers don't have to be in numerical order, but the list should start with the number 1. And we have a list here with numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can simply preview this list in the preview tab to see the output. And you can take a look at here. We have this list successfully. Also, by using the Markdown language, you can create an unordered list by using dashes, asterisk, and also plus signs. Exactly as you can see in this example here. Dashes in front of line items. And if you want to see the output for this, go to the preview tab. You will see bullet points and an unordered list. This is very useful also. Another way to create an unordered list with bullet points, you can use asterisk in front of line items as in this example here. In addition to, if you want to create nested block quote, paragraph, or indented and nested block quote as in this example here, you can do this without any complication, and this will be included in this list in the output. However, don't forget to place blank line after this list to separate this with the next, and also to avoid getting errors or anything like this. Go to the preview tab and you can see the output. We get this new list with these 3 items and nested block quote. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next lesson. How to create code blocks using the Markdown language. You can do this easily in the Markdown language, and in this lesson I will show you how to place code blocks inside the Markdown file and show the output. And after this I will show you how to create horizontal rules using the Markdown language. For instance, here we have HTML code, and this is markup language. Before and after this block of code, insert blank line. And notice that this is included in our list. This is for number 3. Let's create another block of code for number 4 in our list here. Once you insert the 2 code blocks, go to the preview tab and you can see this is the output. Awesome. There is an option here to copy this block of code if you wish and use it anywhere. Now it's time to talk about how to create a horizontal rule. You can use 3 or more asterisks, dashes, or underscores on a line by themselves to create a horizontal rule. We use in this example 3 asterisks to create a horizontal rule. Also, as we said previously, you can use underscores. And this is another example to create a horizontal rule to clarify this concept. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next lesson. How to add links using the Markdown language. Hi there, welcome to this lesson. To create a link in the Markdown language, you need to enclose the link text in brackets and then follow it immediately with the URL in round braces, exactly as in this example here. My favorite search engine is, and we enclose the link text in brackets exactly as you can see, which is Google, followed by the URL for Google inside round braces. Also, you can optionally add a title of a link, and we have a title here in this example, which is "It's so powerful and useful." This is as a test. You can replace it with any title as you wish. This is to clarify these concepts. And in the output, if the user hovers over this link, he will see this title. It's so powerful and useful. The output as shown here in the preview tab. My favorite search engine is Google, and if you try to hover over this link, you will get the title. It's so powerful and useful, or any title you used. To clarify these concepts, let's change the link text to Bing with its URL inside round braces. After completing this, go back to the preview tab to see all these changes. My favorite search engine is Bing, and you can hover over this link to show the title if you wish. If you want to use a quick way to turn a URL or email address into a link, you can enclose it in angle brackets simply. And we have two examples here. The first one is URL and the second one is email address. There are many useful concepts and features in the Markdown language. For example, you can add inline images, images with links, all this and more. Thank you so much for watching.